Let's now dive into our featured story of the day and discuss the implied hash adjusted price for Bitcoin is now over $400,000 per coin, as per the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser. And welcome everyone just tuning into the live show. We appreciate everyone's support. So yeah, Max just tweeted this on Christmas Day. Implied hash adjusted price for Bitcoin is now over 400,000 per coin. This was off the back of the new record Bitcoin hash rate surpassing 520 quintillion exahashes per second. Look how sexy this is. Holy moly. Talk about just going straight up vertical. I personally cannot wait until the price action does this on a candle with the God candle. Send it and let's go. Some other interesting tweets. Max Keiser reaffirms his Bitcoin price prediction of 400,000 all the way back in September of 2020. That's right. I've been covering all the predictions of Max throughout the years, and he has been preaching 400,000 for quite some time. He also tweeted back in November, Bitcoin is self-aware and fighting AI on behalf of humanity. The hash, talking about the hash rate, precedes the price. The hash adjusted price is close to $400,000. He also tweeted, as the global bond market melts down, all it would take is for 7 to 8% of that fleeing bond money to flow into Bitcoin, to 20x Bitcoin to $400,000 per coin. And really quick, just run the math from $50,000, because this is actually a tweet back from last year in September of 2022. From $50,000, family, for us to hit $1 million a coin is just 20x. And if you start just, again, thinking out loud, basic math, to 20x is just 10x times 2. So hypothetically speaking, we can 10x the cycle from the current price action, and that's halfway there, right? And another 10x, I mean, we're going to blow past $1 million per coin. So anything is possible with Bitcoin especially. He also wrote 220,000 in 2022 is still in play, driven by the bond apocalypse. Clearly, we didn't hit $220,000 in 2022, but I still feel that target is likely to come into play in 2024. Let me know your thoughts. He wrote here this morning, capitulation is here. The fiat money world has thrown in the towel. Now, the few with the resources are building Bitcoin positions as fast as possible under $1 million BTC. And he's quoting this article here from Buttonwood. Why Bitcoin is up almost 150% this year, introducing the cockroach theory of crypto. So there you have it. There's a cockroach theory. Also, I'm going to be sharing with you a little bonus story of Anthony Scaramucci predicting Bitcoin hitting 400,000 per coin, along with 1 billion global users. But first, I promise to dig a little deeper down the rabbit hole. I want to read this thread that Max started on December 20th, because he updated it today, referring to the Barry Silbert stepping down and resigning from the digital currency group, which is Grayscale and their GBTC product, the largest hodler of Bitcoin in the world. So here's quoting Max. In 40 years of finance, I have never seen such coordination and cooperation by so many financial institutions working hand in glove with the regulators and politicians as I'm seeing with the coming wave of Bitcoin ETFs. I think we may be in for an unwelcome surprise. Now here's some clarity what he's talking about. Seems like these Bitcoin ETFs have all agreed to cash in, cash out. Investors will track the price but have no claim on actual BTC, a fiat money version of Bitcoin. Simultaneously, Washington is apparently looking to ban self-custody. If this is true, it's exceptional due to the size of the highly coordinated bait and switch by Wall Street and Washington. The best way to beat them is to move to Bitcoin country, El Salvador. And this was off the back of the news that Swan shared here just in. Firms are anticipating a decision from the SEC on Bitcoin spot ETFs shortly after January 8th. They are optimistic about approval, but with a caveat. Unlike typical ETFs, this Bitcoin ETF would require shares to be purchased exclusively with cash. This requirement stems from the SEC's concerns about ETFs potentially being used for money laundering. A detailed report on this development is expected soon. Now, as if fiat money isn't used every day for money laundering, and JP Morgan Chase didn't have to pay $38 billion in fine for money laundering. But anyways, he continues. The timing of this is also interesting. A conspiracy theorist might say these 69,000 Bitcoin are now a key part of the collateral backing these ETF rollouts, referring to the Bitcoin confiscated from Silk Road. The government and proxies get the benefit of the price appreciation on their actual Bitcoin as billions flow into the new fake Bitcoin ETFs. This was on the back of the news that Gaber Gerbach shared December 20th. U.S. Appeals Court approved the forfeiture of over 69,000 Bitcoin from the Silk Road case. People are speculating if and when the U.S. government would sell the coins. I wonder why one can just print money would actually sell hard assets. Just a thought. And I think he makes a great point there. Now, there's more in the thread. Let me find it here. GBTC has approximately 600,000 Bitcoin. The deal with the government to get the ETF approval via the SEC and Gensler, and remember, Barry has been caught engaging in accounting irregularities, so needs a friend in the DOJ. It is to make those Bitcoin easily available in the government in certain circumstances, like an economic emergency that is 100% already baked into the cake. So there he's calling it. And this was back December 21st. Now remember, today I read a headline that Barry Silbert is stepping down as the head of Grayscale, which makes it even more interesting. And I think Max is right on this. This is highly unusual, supports my theory. We'll find out soon enough. And this was off the back of the headline. SEC holding a rare conference call today with all the spot Bitcoin ETF applicants discussing it must be cash in, cash out, meaning they're not accepting Bitcoin in or Bitcoin out for their ETF. Then he said unprecedented, and again, showing you all the largest asset managers meeting up with the SEC. So clearly some coordination and cooperation is happening in real time. And as he shared here, he updated us this morning. Something wicked this way is a coming. Off the headline, Barry Silbert resigning as Grayscale chairman. This was baked into the cake, and Max called that last week before it was a headline. So massive kudos and shout outs to Max Keiser, the one and only high priest of Bitcoin. Now for the headline, Bitcoin to 400,000 as per Max Keiser. That's where he believes the Bitcoin price should be according to the current hash rate. So let's discuss this. And then I'm going to give you the bonus story of Scaramucci predicting $400,000 per coin. Be sure to smash those likes, fam. On Christmas Day, the Bitcoin network achieved a historic milestone, recording the all-time high mining hash rate of 544 quintillion exahashes per second. This surge reflecting the remarkable increase of the hash rate since the year's commencement, echoing the digital asset impressive price trajectory, which had soared 160% year to date. Let's go. Now, Max, as we all know, is the high priest of El Salvador, recently took to social media suggesting the implied hash rate price of Bitcoin surpassing 400,000 per coin. And while this sparks speculation about potential price models, the practical implications are exerting increasing pressure on miners grappling with a substantial dip in profitability. But the miners know at the same time, this is bullish because every halving, what happens to the price, even though the miner rewards are cut in half, the price always does more than 2x. So you already know. And also, I shared breaking news, I think 2 episodes ago on the pod, that Russia, the largest miner, is setting up a mining hub in Ethiopia, Africa. Why? Electricity must be cheap out there. So China, Russia is coming on board already doing Bitcoin-related deals as the game theory continues in full effect. Now, the parallel surge in both the hash rate of the Bitcoin price presents a paradox for the mining community. A heightened hash rate signifies that miners must intensify their efforts to secure the next block, translating into elevated operational costs and a challenging operational landscape. So there you have it. I mean, I think miners are going to be loving their profitability in 2024, but let me know your thoughts. Now for our bonus story of the day, I transcribed something Anthony Scaramucci shared in which he believes Bitcoin of 400,000 as well as 1 billion users on the blockchain. So what does Bitcoin look like at 1 billion users? Quoting Scaramucci of Skybridge Capital, I'm going to be very simplistic. 1 billion users is roughly 8x more than where we are right now. Bitcoin actually think we are undervalued and technically oversold here. So I would have thought the Bitcoin would be where we are in terms of users at 50,000. So intrinsic fair value to me would be 400,000 per coin. Interesting, as it's right in alignment with Max Keiser, right? I'd add 1 billion users because, again, you have a fixed supply and you've got less than 21 million coins available. So you and I both know that the mining finishes in the year 2140 when the last Bitcoin will be mined. But you've also have a lot of lost coins in the process of adoption. We probably got 2 to 3 million coins that have been misplaced. Now, if I was to estimate, I'd say it's probably closer to 4 to 5 million because so many people lost Bitcoin in the early years. You know, Satoshi's wallet's known to hold roughly 1.1 million collectively. So that number could be even higher, which means there's never going to be 21 million Bitcoin actually circulating. It may be closer to like 17 or 16 million, just FYI. They can be in a landfill. They can be in an old BlackBerry or somebody's laptop back from 2010, like an Alex Jones. He claims the 10,000 Bitcoin that Max gifted him on the laptop, he can't find it. It's gone, if you believe him. So the result of which would probably have about 18 million coins in the universe. So there are 48 million millionaires on planet Earth, according to JP Morgan. Well, there's only 18 million Bitcoins in existence. Let that sink in. You don't even have enough Bitcoins for every millionaire on the planet Earth to just own one coin. So you can't tell me that the scarcity properties of this are not going to drive the prices higher. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the mooch himself, Anthony Scaramucci, as well as Max Keiser, regarding that the implied hash rate adjusted price right now for Bitcoin is 400,000 per coin, ultimately saying we should be 10x where the price action is right now. And how realistic do you feel it will be for Bitcoin to 10x this cycle from the current price action? Let me know your thoughts in the comments right down below.